Hello, folks. It's Thursday, the 9th of March, and I'm up early. So I thought, well, go ahead and turn the camera on and see what happens. Cheers, everyone. So, interesting feedback from you folks. Yeah, it's a good thing to try to be helpful. It's a good thing to try to be helpful. That kind of, anyway. So, what's up? Once again, I had another day, and I like sharing this because I hope maybe it will inspire others. So, most of you ended up here watching me because of my record collection, and I love music, I love record collecting. But as you've also discovered over the years, I also make music and I make records, and I dare say I'll call myself an artist. I like that word. Some people think that it's pretentious for a person to call themselves something that they feel they are. Well, that's fine, but I'm not bothered by that train of thought because I like thinking of myself as an artist, because I am. And that's what's been going on is, yeah, I'm just really in effect right now. And so I'm mostly spending days on and off with this room as a music studio, wrapping up these latest projects. Well, not wrapping up, but working on them. But one of the other things that's happening is that it's inspired me to get my guitar back out. I haven't been playing in a while, and I like to play. I like to play all kinds of things, but recording of the Blake and Cubby has just inspired me to play more. And so, got my guitar, one of my guitars out. I've been working on me adding some guitar to these tracks as well as Cubby. Breaking up getting the rust off. So if I show any records, it'll be a pull because I still have not. I have 5 new releases from Discus Music to review. I touched upon the Keith and Julie Tippett, but this is not really a review. It's just my first impression. Keith Tippett was primarily a jazz avant-garde pianist who married the woman Julie Tippett, who was a big pop star in England, at least, possibly all of Europe, back in the 60s. They both developed over the years great musicians. My first impression of this is that this is some stuff that Julie added her voice to after the fact because they were going to do a duet album, but Keith had gotten too sick and he passed away before they could complete it. So what they did was go back and have her sing over some tracks that were in the vaults. And it's obvious that she knows Keith well, and so what she does with what I heard, it works. But honestly, I could easily hear it just Keith on piano. That's my first impression. So I'll share that much. Hmm. Hmm. So let me do a poll. Yeah, I'll just do a poll. I'll go over here. This is over P's going into the R's. What did I pull? Yeah, well, that's the area that it's in. Porcupine Tree on the Sunday of Life. This is an example of a record that I have that's part of a collection, my Porcupine Tree collection. It wasn't that long ago that I pulled this and played this because Steven Wilson is also almost at the point of disowning this early stuff if you've heard him in recent interviews. It's understandable. Compared to the progress that he's made as a musician and writer, this is very early stages, adolescent even. But it has its merits, and you can actually hear on here where the person working on this has some real talent. You cannot necessarily tell where Porcupine Tree ended up from that album, though. But it's a keeper. Okay, interesting pull, huh? Let's see what else we get just right over here. Not in the P's, but just right here. And let's see. Hopefully we don't pull something I've already pulled. And we don't. Not the Steve Lacy that's the pop star now, or whatever you call people that are making hits now. Are they still considered pop? Hip hop? I'm not sure. It's not that Steve Lacy. This is the saxophonist Steve Lacy. And this is The Door. I checked out this latest Steve Lacy guy because he is really popular. It just shows me that I'm old because I don't get it. It's like, he's all right. However, this Steve Lacy, if you don't know, this musician is someone to investigate who has done a lot of interesting work inside and outside of jazz and the free music, improvisation. He's a very good improviser. I haven't listened to this album in a while, and I think this is one of his albums that I got. It's on the Novice label, RCA Novice, when they were doing that thing like Eras to Freedom. So I have to check this one out. I think this was one where when I first listened to it, it was like it wasn't connecting. So I need to listen to this. But Steve Lacy is a musician of note, someone to know. If you, someone to know. Jazz, primarily. I'll do another one. Okay, I don't know if we'll do one more, two more. This is, the polls can be interesting for me as much as hopefully they are for you. Down here. Because I'll be thinking, I kind of know what I got. And sometimes I'm totally surprised. What do we have? Okay, cool. November Group. This goes back to the 80s. I think they're an East Coast band. They never had any big hits. I forget how I found out about this band. But I heard about them. I liked them so much that my band, Digital Sex, we covered a song off of this album, Heart of a Champion. Folks, I really like this album still. It's got a dated thing. It's got a new wave sort of feel. I really can't remember how I discovered this band, but I liked it so much that, again, like I said, we covered Heart of a Champion off this album. Well, it's an EP. It's 4 songs. I had to try to remember or look up some information to find out. How did I find out about that band, November Group? Because I've never heard anything about them other than the fact that we did it. Years later, on the internet, I did see some promo stuff that they did that, of course, you never see at the time it's happening unless you live in their area. It's a good album. Good songs. Fun. All right. Let me keep going. This stuff here, I tend to think I just know it because these spines are so available, but at the same time, there's no reason to not pull from here. And look what I pulled. Kin Ping Meh, number 2. Isn't that a funky ass cover? Man, people must have been smoking some funky ass weed in the 70s because some of these covers you just don't even understand. It must be some kind of in joke or something, or somebody was having a real good stone day to say, "We'll make this the cover for our next album." Good Lord, look at that. Ken Ping Man, German hard rock band, and not progressive. They get called prog. I think they get called prog by people trying to sell their records. This is hard rock. This is German. It's a good band. They do a good version of "Come Together" by the Beatles on here, but it's just slightly left of rock and roll. It's a good band. The other thing about this is it's a collectible label, Zebra, and it's an example of I had more records on this label when I was younger and really didn't quite know what I had, so I don't have them anymore. I'm glad I hung on to this one. It's a cool label. Kind of like Vertigo with the whole look. Pretty cool. All of these that are out that I pulled, I'm going to play them at least a little bit this morning. I'm scheduled to record today with both Blake and Cubby. It snowed this morning. It's snowing now, and it's a mix of snow and rain, so I hope it doesn't interfere with their plans to come over. I'm so psyched about the album, and it's almost done. Blake is just about done. He only has 2 things to do, and I want to do. Well, I'll be quiet because I have some things I'd like to just try, but it's just about complete, and I am enthralled with it. It's like, if anything, right now, listening to other music is almost like a palate cleanser because I find my focus coming back to what we're working on. And the good thing about it is that I'm not tired of it. I'm compelled to listen to it and really complete the picture in my mind, because this music is really sounding good. It is. It's some of the best I've done. It is. And it's a culmination of stuff. It's not all new tracks. Some of these tracks that we're presenting as new, I started on as long ago as 2017. Very happy with what's going on. Okay, I'll do one more pull, and I will just keep over back this way. It's all interesting, whatever the whole collection really is. What did we get? Country Girl by Amine, Claudine, Myers, Sextet. This is some fine stuff here. Okay, more jazz. More jazz with Patience Higgins on flute. Carlos Ward is on here. He just passed away. I think that's who passed away recently. That hadn't been mentioned. Carlos Ward, good player. And of course, Claudine Myers on piano. I love that cover. It's kind of cute. Yeah, she's flipping us off. This is good. I can't hear it right away, like in my head, like playing the record. But I remember this is tight. This is good. It's not super fiery, but it is fiery. And Claudine Myers' voice on the piano is strong. I'm glad I did the polls today. I'm up early enough that I have time to listen a bit before. Again, man, I'll be so disappointed if we don't record today. My fellas, Blake and Cubby, they really are young and involved and busy. So I feel totally blessed to be working with them, and that they want to work with me, because they're very busy and they get a lot of work, and they're just young and their lives are full. So it's not uncommon that we'll schedule something and something comes up, or they'll forget something else they were doing. So really hope we get to record today and start to get this wrapped up. I'm even creating my own art, looking at trying to wrap this up. A couple of folks sent me some art, and it wasn't what I'm looking for this. Their art was good, but it's not what I'm looking for. And I'm in touch with a couple folks besides my nephew Gabriel. I do intend to use Gabriel's work for at least one of these projects, but I'm still looking. Okay, I'm babbling. Hello, Stephanie. I know you're watching. I'm glad to see you yesterday on Instagram doing a cheers. Yeah, people miss you, so I'm glad that you're kind of showing up a little bit more in social media. Your presence is appreciated. With that in mind, yesterday was International Women's Day, and I just wrote one post on Facebook, which was that there is no life without women. Interestingly, I'll comment the one comment where it's a perfect example of people's inner perception is not the same. So I say there is no life without women. That's a big statement. There's a lot that can be packed into that. Almost all the comments are, well, of course, yes, I agree. Well said. We appreciate you saying it. And there's the one comment by someone who I don't know who this person is. They're a follower probably, but they say, I disagree. I don't. Something about living. Let me see, because it's like this is just another example of what the person said is a reflection of what's in their mind, not even close to what I said. Life is perception. Okay, that's why when I said the other day that it is not obvious when someone is joking with you, especially online. It's the context. So here, my comment was, there is no life without women. And everyone says, well, this is very true, and it's quite literally true. The one person, and it's like, yeah, okay, I know who this person is. Disagree, life can be lived in happiness alone. And I just wrote back to him, I didn't say anything about living with anyone. And did I mock him? I mocked the comment, not the person. It's like, again, what you perceive is a reflection of your own program. We're not all programmed the same. So he completely missed what I was saying. The majority of everybody else gets it, That's an example of dealing with, and I will use the word knotheads. And there's some people who are so, again, don't understand enough that when they hear me use a name, they get stuck on that. Oh, he called a name. That's right. There's such a thing as things being in the proper context, okay? And being exasperated with ignorance, stupid people, and jackass behavior, you get exasperated. And after a while, it's like you get tired of being kind and proper. And it's like, yeah, you motherfuckers are full of shit, and that's what you need to hear. That's what I need to tell you. So that's what that's about. And I could write a paper about it. So try to understand. It's that simple. Use your brain. That's what you got it for. Think. Don't just react. And we live in a time when that's exactly what's going on. Is people are not thinking. They're just on autopilot and doing a lot of reacting, and a lot of stupid shit is constantly happening as a result. So I challenge it. Use your brains, people. All right, have a good one, y'all.